Okay. Hello everybody! At the timing of this video, my last video was a Christmas card one, and I feel a little bit weird being in front of the camera today, but we are filming it because by the time this gets released, I will be in Japan. Yeah, that didn't happen. Anyways. So, I'm sick. Okay, the tea's already helping. That's better. I apologize if I sound a little bit dead, but do know that I am very excited by this haul, and it actually is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. This wasn't actually supposed to be as like a big haul kind of thing, like my Christmas scrapbooking was. This was actually an accumulation of 3 different trips to 2 scrapbook stores. I ended up getting stuff from Bo Bunny and from this new line. Oh, what is this called? We'll get to it. So this is the first part of the haul. We're gonna start with our Bo Bunny. I actually ended up getting from 3 different lines, which is a little ridiculous, and there's only 3 pieces of paper. So I can't tell you what the whole line looks like. Maybe one day when this crafting channel maybe gets monetized, one can only dream, I will be able to get full lines. But for these hauls, we'll just get little snippets of here and there, and then you'll see. So our first piece of paper is from the Bo Bunny's Once Upon a Lifetime Discoveries line. It doesn't say, oh, there it is. This one's actually a 2017 line. So I have this really pretty bunch of orange roses. At least I think they're roses. They look like roses. Is there such thing as an orange rose? I don't know. But regardless, this is what I see on the paper. And I really like this one because it's not just like wham bam in your face orange. I would use it as a layering page, but since his main first favorite color is orange, this will probably be one of the main ones that I use closer to the top that's not completely covered by layers. On the opposite side, another very subdued orange. Looking back, I kind of think I probably should have gotten more of this Once Upon a Timeline because this shade of orange, very subdued, is my preferred. Neons, I'm not a huge neon person, so I really like the pastel aesthetic to this. So there's a bit of green, and it looks like there's a little bit of like watercolor splotches around the edges here. This would definitely be a very good layering page, especially since on this edge here. You'll be able to see better on the close-up clip, I'm sure. But it has a little bit more of those roses that were on this side, just on the edge here. So I really think that would be a cute edge section. And then there's even like a faux ripping tear effect printed on the page, which if I end up using this one little corner for a card, I will probably just rip that on its own so it's actually a real life thing, because with mixed media, you gotta make things pop out and make it more 3D. So yeah, on to the next paper. This one is from, I'm probably gonna butcher this name, but it's Aria's Garden Petals line. And this one is so orange. So this I will definitely use as like a bottom layer because this is a lot. But it also kind of makes me think more autumny instead of just like wham in your face like that one is. So I'll still use it obviously because otherwise I wouldn't have bought it. But yeah, it's gonna be the backdrop, so it subdues that intense orange. And I do like the little spirals on these corners, so I'll probably end up using the corner sheet. And then this section I could probably use for writing little notes, because sometimes I do that with my scrapbook paper. Like when I was really into smashbooking, who remembers that trend from like 2013 till I think it stopped like early 2016. I think that's when I started to see it like not get sold so much in Michael's. But yeah, did any of you guys ever smashbook? Like from the actual K&C company's smashbook books? Maybe one day I will show you a page of mine, but pretty much in some of those books I would keep like little memories or little messages from people that would make me happy, and I would use pages like this that were blank enough so that you could actually see the text better. Because if you try to like write on like a page like this, for example, you're not going to be able to see the letters very clearly. So I like getting lots of sheets like this, and then I could still make the book look pretty, but not be like drowned out by fancy print. You know, that was probably a really long tangent, but regardless, moving on to the back sheet. It's a barn door looking type of paper. I really like the I'm using the word rustic a lot, aren't I? Yeah, barn door aesthetic. There's still a little itsy bitsiness of orange, so I think I will use this closer to the front of his card. So that's the last 2 sheets that I got from like an orange Bo Bunny's line. On to the next line that I got from this specific haul for his card. Because he said he likes pink, well actually I should say my mom was with me that day. She helped give me some extra cash. Thank you, Mom, I love you. This line is actually from a brand called 49 Market. I have never seen this brand. I don't know how new they are. I'd have to look it up. So they had this beautiful paper, like it is thick. This paper is like twice as thick as the regular Bo Bunny paper that I was just showing you. Like this almost is like construction paper thick, which might be a bit hard to bullet journal with, but it will be great for scrapbooking and great for cards. It'll be very sturdy. So I'll probably use them as like very backbone of the card. Oh, excuse me. The backbone of the card to help it like stay upright and stay stronger. So this was more of an investment, but it's very beautiful. This first page is called Writings on the Wall, and oh my God, it's so pretty. This I will definitely not use for a card. It's one of those pages where it deserves to use the entire layout. Like I can just see the square photo right in there, like layered, maybe like pushed out twice. So it has like about that much inch out. And then a little bit of flowers, so it has a little bit of 3Dness, but I'll probably just leave most of it on its own, a very simple but slightly 3D layout, because this is just gorgeous. This page I'm not as much of a fan of. It's a little bit too much green for my liking, so that's why I only got one sheet of this one. But yeah, I do like the shade of pink that's in here, so I'll use like little snippets of this for the card, I'm sure. And I like that it looks like there's a bit of painted stenciling here, but other than that, like it's just a little bit too much green for my liking, so only one sheet. Definitely will be using this side. Next one. This one's called Whispers. I don't really know why, but I really like the blue. I'm just such a sucker for blue. This is another one of those pages where I feel like I would feel really bad for cutting this up, so I'll probably just save it and use it as a backdrop piece. Watch, I will save it and then never end up using it because it's too pretty. Problem. Yeah, I really like the edges on the bottom. Having it just looks like a kind of like growing up the walls of just flowers, so I don't know. I'm bad at describing things. Back page, meh. Not a huge fan of this page. And this bottom thing, remember how I said in the last video where the scrapbook pages usually have like this bottom thing that you would normally cut off, but sometimes on the back end they have a design of like the opposite side of the paper. This to me does not go with either side of this paper, so I don't know what they were thinking with that. It looks more like a candy cane, but I don't know. So I'll probably just like, when I cut this off, I'll just save it in my Christmas pile because that goes way better than the blue and this side. Like, there's only one page from this line that I actually got 2 pages for, but this next one is another nice simple page, but I will probably end up using most of this for writing little notes in my bullet journal. But this is such a pretty backdrop page. I think this will be just kept as like a backdrop page for when I eventually do albums again. Backside though, can we just acknowledge this blue for a second? It is so pretty. This is probably my favorite. Okay, no, it's not my favorite shade. I love this. It's so pretty. I really like that old-fashioned look where it looks like old penmanship, very faded on the paper. It's just so vintagey and I love it. Next one, it's called Garden Letters. This first page, the very gardeny side, there's a lot more flowers on this one. It's another page where I could definitely use it as the layering page, so I could use like this blank part for cards, but it's, this line's too pretty as an overall page, and I would feel so bad about cutting it up. That's the only problem with this line, it's just too damn pretty. I'll probably end up saving this for a while if I'm being completely honest. The back side, this is where the letters thing is coming from. There it says postcard and there's stamps. Looks very vintage. This one is called The Edge of Reason. It looks like there's a postcard backing on this. My first glance and first thought when seeing this page is it would be another like overall page that I would not use for cards. Like this is just too perfectly centered to like cut up and use for a card. With the size of here, I could definitely see myself using one of those like Instacamera printout things, you know, like that old Polaroid, that's the word, a Polaroid picture. That would fit perfectly there. You could layer it up a little bit with like a little bit of washi tape and some like distressed edges of some scraps, just to add a little bit of pop, and maybe an actual stamp if I was gonna print off 2 pictures and like mail it to someone. That would be cute. That's a good idea. It's a good thing I filmed that so I can actually remember it. Speaking of which, I really hope I pressed the record button. Oh, thank goodness I am. Okay. I think that's a really cute idea, so I think I'm gonna do that. Which also kind of makes me sad because now I can't use this side. I like this side because I love the ombre, the darkish blue going into the pinks. So if I wasn't using this, I would definitely use this section of it. A little splatter of that same pink here, except it looks more like a watercolory strategic splash. Yeah, I really like this page. All right, last paper from this line. This one is called Dear John. Oh, that's so, I actually have never seen that movie. Do you guys like that movie? Let me know. So, Dear John has a huge page that looks like there's already lettering, like already a letter in the area, which this is actually like really pretty. I'm glad I got 2 sheets of this. Yeah, again, a page where you would have to have a picture here. Like, I feel like all of this paper just, you can't rip it up and use for like small things. They're all just so pretty for like a main page. So that's gonna be my downfall. I like the gingham. This is actually, I think, my only paper that I have with gingham, which is crazy because I'm actually starting to love gingham more and more. I blame Best Dress. She's gotten me hooked on that pattern. Also, if none of you have ever heard of Best Dress or watched her videos, you need to pause mine, go to her channel, subscribe, binge, and then come back here. Freaking love her, she's hilarious. So yeah, those are the 2 sheets, and I like the little design that they have on the bottom here, just a nice simple grayish blue marbly looking thing. That's it for 49 Market. Okay, next one I got. Only 2 sheets from this, but we are doing kaisercraft now. I only got 1 sheet of each one. It has a little ombre design on the bottom, and it says, there is always something to be thankful for. I like the vines. They kind of look like little daisies. I don't know what to call these flowers. I don't know. They're definitely not roses. But it's cute, it's pretty, and I like these 2 shades together. And the backdrop is just a plain sheet. So I'll definitely, this is a page where I can definitely feel no guilt about like ripping it up. It's a very good layering page. And I'll probably use this page to write some notes for inside the bullet journal too. Same line, has this side has the same marbling of that last page, but instead of just the marbling, it has a lot of like very watercolored flowers that aren't exactly the same kind of flower as the backside of that previous one, but they use the same shades. And the watercolor of the pink up here that's just fading into the gray, like, it's just so pretty. I love when they do that. I'm such a sucker for watercolors. So that's it for kaisercraft's magenta collection. Next line we have, all right, so this brand I've never used before either. Got this one from Scrap and Bean, and this one is called Couture. Did I say that right? Couture? Yeah, Couture Creations. Very simple. I feel like this line's very minimalistic, very muted. Cute, but probably won't go down in like my favorite lines. So this collection is called Peaceful oh god, am I gonna be able to say that right? Peonies? Peonies, peonies. I think that's how you say it. Peaceful Peonies, we're gonna go with that collection. This first page has a bunch of postcards scattered around it with some, not roses, carnations? They look like carnations, I think, in between. To me, it's a very good layering page because if you use the right corners, you'll be able to tell that it's postcards behind it. The paper is very thin compared to the 49 Market, and actually the Bow Bunny too. Like, this is very easy to rip. I will not rip it on camera because I'm not ready to use it yet. But yeah, this will be good for bullet journaling paper. Opposite side is just some cute, muted, baby pink polka dots. This would be a really nice page to do some writing on. Some of you might be thinking that like with the polka dots it might be too loud, but seeing this in person, I feel like the baby pink is actually light enough to not be distracting, but I probably will test it in like a corner or something before I use them for little notes. And then the little decor paper on this side is a mint blue version of the pink, except the dots are white and not dark pink. Second page, more of these carnations. On its own, this page is very loud, so it'll definitely have to be a layering page for me. I don't know, it's not exciting me as much as I remember it probably is. I do prefer the opposite side, so this will just be a fun ripping layering, the layering page for me. Opposite side is that mint blue that I was talking about that was on the other paper that I just looked at. Very beautiful mint. And our last sheet from this line. This one I probably should have gotten 2 because this first page, I love the pinks in with this. It really pops compared to the rest of the 2 pages that I just showed you. This I could probably use like a corner of it for the card. But I really like this page as a whole. So this would be a good like on its own scrapbook page, I think. Like which one would I use it for? Like maybe Trisha's Baby album? I'm not sure. I feel like I would feel guilty about ripping this one up. The opposite side is more that barn door type of design like that like was in the Bow Bunny one. Except this is a very minute blend of the mint green with just a little bit of that baby pink, like baby pink handwriting. That it's so faint that you definitely can't tell what the letters are saying. Okay, so that's it for the Peaceful Peonies collection. Okay, we got 3 more lines left. So, no, we'll do that one last because it's shorter, but I said I was gonna do Prima last, but there's one other pile that I'm like, it's shorter, and it was like a happy find. It was like a surprise find. I wasn't searching for it, but I'm so happy I found it. But anyway, so we're gonna go with Prima next. I actually ended up getting 3 different lines from it, and 2 of them are from 2017, and another one, I'm actually not sure the year because unlike the other 2, it doesn't say a year on it at all, which is kind of odd. So I think it's the newest one. I'd have to look it up on their website, but we'll start with the oldest ones first. And plus they are the smallest piles too, so it'll be faster to go through them. The first one is Love Story Collection. I actually already had this paper in my collection for my Valentine's Day drawer, but I really like this paper, so I ended up getting some more of it. The first page, it looks like a map, and it's a very fainted beige, and it says Paris at the top, so it's probably just like an overview of some part of Paris. Actually makes kind of sense, because if it's from a Valentine's Day line, Paris is like one of the most romantic cities in the world, I guess, so that totally makes sense. And the back side, it's a little bit iridescent, so I'm not sure how it's going to come across on camera, but another great layering page, because it's very loud for on its own. I can see myself cutting out these hearts for like to act as embellishments. This one is from the Misty Rose collection, and this particular paper apparently is called Scattered Dreams. A bunch of watercolor and iridescent gold shimmeriness. This will be a great layering page. And the back side of it is kind of marbly. I only got 1 sheet of this because this side I was honestly not a huge fan of like at all. So if I need to use like a little corner of it as just like the plain pink, it's not gonna hurt my soul to cut it up. But this is definitely my preferred side. And this one is more iridescent gold, except that each iridescent gold section is either a different type of old vintagey looking carriage. Think like car that the butler uses in the Aristocats Disney movie. Especially this one here. Yeah, this one looks almost like identical to what they had in the movie. Nice backdrop page. This side, I probably should have gotten 2 sheets of this now that I'm showing this to the camera. This would be a great writing notes page in this section, but the rest of it I think would be better for layering because of how condensed the lettering is. So great layering piece indeed. Okay, I took a quick 15-minute break because I wanted more tea because my throat's getting sore again. So now we're gonna continue where we left off. It's still too hot for me to drink, unfortunately, but we're gonna keep continuing. So this collection from Prima is the thickest one I've bought from them in a while, besides that Christmas one. The paper itself is actually surprisingly thicker than the other 2 lines, and this is the one that doesn't say a year on it. The other 2 were from 2017. This one, I think it doesn't say a year because it's probably the newest one, because I've never seen this one before. All right, so we'll start with the page that I got 2 of, because I like both sides equally. And this line is called Capri Collection. I got 2 of because, as you can see, this beautiful border is definitely not a card paper. This will be on its own scrapbook page. And I like that the border is an iridescent gold with little, almost like little fractures of shimmer. It's like shines even more than just a regular iridescent gold thing, so it's so pretty. And the backdrop page is extremely marbly, and it's a great layering page. So I'm glad I got 2. So one of them I'll dedicate just for cards, but definitely not for notes because it's a little bit too grainy for that, but definitely for layering. And then the opposite side for its own paper, for its own page, I mean. So this first side, lots of roses and carnations. Pink, love pink carnations. I love pink roses. They're probably like one of my favorite flowers. I think second to red roses though. What do you guys like more? Red or pink roses? Let me know. Lots of iridescent random slits. Some parts look like it's edges of frames, and there's even some like letters in the iridescent. One of them says British Isles. Oh yeah, okay, when you look closer to it, you can really tell that it's more, sorry, I'm like sniffling like crazy. You can really tell on the inner corners of it, so it looks like it's a European map with a bunch of flowers around it. This line is very travel themed, but with mostly throwing up Prima's, you know, signature vintage look. 2 of my favorite things combined, I love it. So the back page is more postcard type of themed, and it's a lot simpler, but this is my preferred side. Next one, more pink carnations with a lot of different types of butterflies and more of that iridescent gold that I am obsessing over. It also says Down by the Sea here, and you'll see on the opposite side that it goes with that theme, Down by the Sea. This area really looks like on the edge of Nice. I was there for a grade 12 grad trip and it was gorgeous. Like the blues from the ocean and the sky, like really, they really captured this. They must have taken this from an actual photo because I love how like seamless the sky goes into the water too. It's just like, it looks like that in real life. It's ridiculous. I love it. Next page is one of those posted card type of pages where you can cut out these little designs and they're like the perfect size for cards. But I think my favorite one from this is probably the where you're going, we don't need roads. It just has that iridescent gold again and a hot air balloon, like very cute and very pretty. Oh, I just love this. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot, but it's like, ugh, I love this line. This is probably my favorite line from Prima that's not like Christmas themed in a while. The opposite side looks like it's actually a granite wall, because like this part looks like a little bit like sea foam, and if you really look closely, it like almost like that film that comes at the edge of the water at the sea. I don't know what it's called, but you guys, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. At least I hope I'm describing that correctly. Another cardstock paper with designs on it. Beautiful. I take it back. This one's better to me than this side, I think. They're similar, but I think I like the designs on this one more. Happiness is planning a trip with those that you love, which my favorite trip with someone that I love was to Japan 3 years ago with my best friend Trisha. That by far has been the best vacation I've ever been on. Because I was dreaming about that trip for like a decade. The one just behind that though would be when I went to New York and I got to see my favorite idol. That was a dream, a surprise dream come true. But I never really dreamed about being in New York. I only went to New York that time with Rosemary because of my idols performing. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. When I do a video on that on my other channel, I'll link to it with this certain part so you guys can see it. So yeah, if you guys haven't subscribed to my other channel, please do so. I'm gonna be very active on both channels once this starts being uploaded. Oh, that's the last, did I show the other side? I didn't show the other side. This is the last page of this line. So the other side is more granite-y looking walls with some blues. When you compare both of these papers though, I think my favorite one is this guy, just because this tone of blue I love more than this tone of blue, but I mean, who am I kidding? I love every shade of blue, so it's still a win in my book. This whole line was a total win. I got every single sheet of this line. So that is it for Prima. We're almost at the end. I've been talking for a long time. My throat feels like it's at the end of its brink. No, that's like still like actually hot to the touch, and I'm gonna try it. Oh shit! Oh shit! That's not good. I think I just made a stain on the freaking table. Oh no. Hopefully mom doesn't notice that. Okay, last papers. These ones were a surprise find. I was not out looking for these, but I just came across them and it was just a happy accident. I'm gonna end up using for the very first page in Trisha's Babies album, because her whole bedroom, not her entire bedroom, but most of her bedroom was Winnie the Pooh, like classic Winnie the Pooh theme, not like the Disney-fied Winnie the Pooh, but like the original drawings of Winnie the Pooh. And it had this paper. It's literally perfect. I love it, and it was the last one. So I was like, this is perfect. I still have the embellishments that I used on her baby shower cards, so I could totally use this for this page. And like I said, it's gonna be the first page of the album, so I'm probably gonna end up using the picture of Trisha and Elise when she was first born. Trisha doesn't particularly love that photo because I mean, when you're out of labor for that long, it's not the most flattering you'll ever look, but I mean, what else am I gonna put for the beginning photo? I don't know. And yeah, I wish there was a second page because I would like to use this for my own baby stuff, but Trisha comes first. Trisha, if you're ever watching this, I love you. So the next happy surprise is a Jack Skellington page. Ah! It's kind of funny though, because if you look close, it doesn't actually look like it's his whole body. It just looks like, oh, you know, the side and then just like his upper body. But no, if you go down this line, you'll see his feet. So I probably will end up cutting off his feet because it just, to me, I think it looks better when it's just that instead of just like randomly 2 feet there. I don't know. And you know what? Looking back at it now, I actually think this is the exact drawing of Jack that I used on like the bottom corner of my end screens for my Night Before Halloween project, because it was like based from the Nightmare Before Christmas universe. Another plug. I think I've plugged that video a couple of times, but I'm gonna do it again because I'm super proud of it, and at the recording of this video, it's reached 10,000 views. I am so proud of that, but anyway, okay, I digress. I'm getting off topic here. But yes, it's the same, I'm pretty sure it's the same photo. And the last sheet, there is a double-sided page of a crap ton of zeros. I love it, it's so cute. There wasn't any other Night Before Christmas themed pages that I liked besides these two, but I will definitely use these 2 sheets for the picture of me meeting Jack Skellington in Disneyland in 2014. That was the best birthday ever. I went for my 21st birthday. It was so good. I was smiling like you know when you're smiling so much that it actually hurts, and then when you're like to that point, you're past the point of like looking like a normal smile because you're like smiling so intensely, you're not trying to look crazy, but you're like that happy. That was me. So I'll use these papers to scrapbook that page when I do my travel album. So yeah, that's it for paper. We're almost at the end here. We have a little bit of random little things, and then we'll be wrapping up for this video. So the first one I actually should have shown with the last Prima line. This little note cards book. Yeah, it just has like a bunch of little note cards that are like the perfect size for cards or my bullet journal. This is actually compact enough that I think I could bring it to Japan with me. So I could do it for a later bullet journaling theme. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. It's perfect. Oh my god, this thing was so expensive, but it's so pretty. I couldn't resist. I'm a sucker for obviously everything that's blue, but I think my blue obsession originated from when I was a kid and got obsessed with marine life, and coinciding with this set of, how many are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different washi tapes. It is sea themed. The designs on it are very watercolory. This is what's mainly sold me on it, because I mean, like I said, I love marine life. I love the whole aesthetic of this, but as soon as I saw that one of the rolls has dolphins in it, I was like, this is mine. I don't even care that I'm spending $8.50 on it. Like, I'm getting this. I love dolphins. And when I was in Hawaii last year, I got to see live dolphin. I think they're called spinner dolphins. I'll insert a clip here, but I'm eventually gonna be doing a travel video about that trip. So one of my bullet journaling themes, not for March, but probably for like a summer one, like maybe July or August, I'm gonna have it be marine life themed and use all of this washi tape. And then another little surprise find, one of those like travel postcard things. No, not a postcard. Travel tags. I'm gonna get this laminated before I go to Japan, but this is gonna definitely go on my suitcase. It's Jack at the very end no, not at the end of the movie, sorry. At the beginning of the movie singing Jack's Lament. It's like that iconic scene. And then I got a Jim Holtz collection stencil. I thought that I could use this in my bullet journaling for designs because when I was looking up some inspo for later month themes that I wanted to try doing, I saw this one girl use stencils in her bullet journal. I was like, oh my god, why didn't I even think about that? I used to do that in my first scrapbook pages. Like, I should totally do that, but I didn't have a star one. Maybe I'll do like an astrology themed one. Any other Libras watching this video? Another stencil, and the last thing from this haul. It's like a flowery, viney thing with some extra flowers. I probably won't use the flowers here because I'm not a huge fan of those designs, but the little circles here and this whole thing is very aesthetic. I really like it. Yeah, that'll be good. So, that's the end of today's scrapbook haul. I am really glad I decided to actually like sit down and film today despite feeling pretty sick because it was a bit of a rough morning, but honestly, this really cheered me up. So I will conclude this, and I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Scrappy Wednesday video. And yeah, let me know what line you like the best from this haul, and I think that's pretty much it. I will see you guys next week.